Today we begin the next chapter of the Denver Broncos franchise. I'm not even sure what to call the series anymore, but we are following the entirety of this league now that we've been building over 9 seasons. This is a brand new idea. I love your feedback down below. Let me know what you think as we follow all 32 teams. We'll see different teams every episode as we follow the league storylines. And to start the season, I was so excited to see this new Toronto Thunderbirds team that has relocated from Washington. They're still in the NFC East. And Justin Colbert was their major signing in the offseason. They have a new franchise quarterback. I wanted to see his Thunderbirds debut. And on his first pass attempt as a Thunderbird, he was intercepted trying to get a big play to superstar receiver Rafa Augustine, who had the football and then had it jarred loose into the hands of Cordell Hudson, giving the Cowboys a quick takeaway. The Cowboys are still playing with Jason Murray as their quarterback, and he loves to throw it downfield. He's become so good at that, finding Ben Ayers on that play. That led to a Dallas field goal. And the plan for Dallas was to keep attacking downfield. Again, Murray finds Ben Ayers. One thing you have to keep in mind, though, about these vertical teams: will you have the time to throw downfield? The Thunderbirds have a loaded front seven. Jarrett Maxiell brings down Jason Murray on this play as the Thunderbirds get it back. They weren't just debuting Justin Colbert at quarterback, but Coco Lemon has become the new starting running back, taking over for T-Shawn Clifford. Early on, he looked really good, running through arm tackles and getting yards after contact. Justin Colbert was able to settle in after his opening interception, throwing a laser here to Taylor Lester, the number 3 tight end. That would lead to a field goal as Toronto tied the game. Later in the first half, Dallas pinned inside their own 5, and Ezekiel Elliott fumbles in the end zone. Not a safety. It's a Toronto touchdown for Brian Peters, and this front 7 really came to play. Dallas loves to run the football, and there was nothing they could do against this front 4, running for -6 yards in the first half. It appeared Toronto's defense could potentially win this game all on their own. But Dallas regrouped in the second half, with Murray finding longtime Eagle, now Cowboy Zach Ertz. And then they were committed to the running game with Ezekiel Elliott, and eventually he got out of the negative rushing yards and started to actually find some running lanes as Dallas put together their best drive of the day to begin the second half. It was capped off with Jason Murray finding Antonio Balmer for Dallas's first touchdown to tie the game at 10. Toronto only had 3 points of offense to this point. Justin Colbert trying to get them going in the second half, and a big catch and run from tight end Nick Meeks sets them up inside the Dallas 30. With Toronto entering the red zone, Justin Colbert throws his first touchdown as a member of the Toronto Thunderbirds, finding Taylor Lester. Toronto took the lead 17-10. On the ensuing kickoff, returned by second-year receiver Roshan Mashaka, Toronto's coverage unit couldn't bring him to the ground, and Dallas immediately responded. In this exciting third quarter, Mashaka tied the game at 17. Later in the fourth quarter, Dallas trying to take the lead. A 3rd and 9 for Jason Murray with a lot of pressure, losing the football. Dallas got on it, but Marquavion Hairston got the sack of Murray to give the ball back to Toronto. With under 6 minutes to play, Justin Colbert finding a receiver on the outside. There's Centarius Phillips. We know him from his days with the Broncos. And then Colbert trying to take the lead. A deep ball to the end zone, and it's intercepted by Cordell Hudson for the second time. Another big defensive play that gave Dallas a chance with 4 minutes to go, and the pressure just kept arriving. Marquavion Hairston's second sack of Murray ended this possession. This gave Justin Colbert a chance to drive down with 2 minutes to go in his first game as a Thunderbird. This catch by Rafa Augustine got them close. Facing a critical 3rd and 3, Colbert trying to go downfield, and the pass was well defended. This brought up 4th down, and Toronto opted not to try the 54-yard field goal. Perhaps some wind concerns. They didn't want to miss and give Dallas a chance to drive down the field. So it looked like we were just headed for overtime. But Jason Murray wanted to take a shot downfield and found a receiver. That's Tony Passeri. Yes, from those Denver preseason games. With no time on the clock, Murray threw it deep and could not get another big catch. So we do end up with overtime here between the Cowboys and Thunderbirds. Dallas tried to get down the field with Ezekiel Elliott. They couldn't do much on the ground, so they utilized him in the passing game a bit. 1st and 10 for Jason Murray. Complete over the middle again. Tony Passeri coming through and suffering an injury on the play. Dallas got it close into field goal range, but then Murray sacked once again. Durant sent on the blitz. Could Dallas recover and get into field goal range? They were met with a tough 3rd down and 26 and really could not get close enough. Toronto's defense came up big once again. With just 3 minutes to go, Toronto went 3 and out, giving the ball back to Dallas as a tie suddenly became a possibility. 2.5 minutes. Dallas faced with 3rd and 5. Dumped off to Elliott, and they don't get much. So again, it's going back to Toronto. Here's an idea of the win, perhaps, as Daryl Kinney kicks it inside the 5, and somehow it does not go into the end zone. Toronto pinned inside the 1. Colbert trying to throw out of the end zone, downfield, and through the hands of tight end Nick Meeks. On the very next play, they go play action again, and Justin Colbert is sacked for the game-winning safety by Lou Saxton of the Cowboys, spoiling the Thunderbirds' debut in Toronto and the first game with Justin Colbert. I mean, that's classic NFC East football right there. What a week 1. I thought we'd see Colbert come in and Toronto score a big win, but Dallas gets it done with only 250 yards of offense. Defense really made all the big plays in this game. I also wanted to spend some time this episode looking at the Carolina Panthers. We have not really gotten to see Lameka Warrick with Carolina and the great career he's started. He's already signed a $190 million extension with the Panthers. And for Tampa Bay, Marcus Mariota's debut doesn't get off to a good start as he loses the football, and the Carolina Panthers get a scoop and score touchdown to go up 7-0. Here's Mariota trying to bounce back on the very next possession, throwing an interception as the Panthers get 2 early takeaways. This time it's inside linebacker Melvin Smart. And finally, a chance to see Lameka Warrick with this offense as Christian McCaffrey runs in the 6-yard touchdown and the Panthers open up their lead. Eventually, Tampa did not turn the football over and Carolina actually got to run their offense with Lameka Warrick, finding wide receiver Cliff McKeon, who's now in his 7th season. On 3rd down and 5, here's Warrick with an off-balance throw, showing off that great arm talent, finding the tight end Nico Lolotai as Devin White suffered an injury. Carolina takes it to the 11, and then a quick hitter to DJ Moore, and that goes in the books as a rushing touchdown. Carolina dominant in the first half. Tampa wanted to make this a ball game. Marcus Mariota trying to go downfield, had a receiver who could not squeeze it to make the catch. Here's Tampa then going to the ground game with Marion Peppers running for a first down. I certainly miss Marion Peppers on the Broncos. Glad to see he's still having a pretty good career with the Bucs, although not a great week 1. Here's Mariota, again nearly getting intercepted, trying to force a pass inside the 20. Tampa just wanted points of any kind, but nothing would go their way in this first half. It was all Carolina early on. Here are the Panthers inside the Tampa Bay 15 with Christian McCaffrey not getting much. And then reaching down at his right leg, Christian McCaffrey had to come out of the game and he would not return. On the very next play, Lameka Warrick, 3rd down and 11, firing to the back of the end zone, and that is a touchdown to the former Buccaneer, William Sapp. Really close play. It did not go to a review. Looks like that might have only been 1 foot in bounds, but it counts as a Carolina touchdown, and they were not done there, up 28-0. Lameka Warrick hit after he throws here, a late hit. And Warrick had to come out of the game just like Christian McCaffrey. Neither would return to this game. Despite that, Tampa Bay really couldn't do much to get back in the game. Even with backup quarterback Derek Brown not able to get the offense going. Tampa Bay had the entire second half to turn the game around, but it was just too late. With this Carolina pass rush doing a really good job, and the lead built up from the first half. One player who had a really bad day, Kalispell standout tackle Sylvester Rosthorn, who gave up 4 sacks in this game, and this one took Marcus Mariota out of the game. He did not return. Carolina won big, 31-6, but obviously it's a very different team without Christian McCaffrey and Lameka Warrick. They didn't really do much after those two left. Their defense played a really good game start to finish. And like I said, Sylvester Rosthorn, that's got to be one of the worst games he's ever had in his life. Carolina's edge rush with Brian Burns was really strong. And here's the aftermath with the injuries. Christian McCaffrey suffered a foot fracture. Doesn't show Lameka Warrick's injury. He is good to go going forward. And the Buccaneers will be without Marcus Mariota for the next 3 weeks. That's going to take us to one more matchup I wanted to highlight here with last year's MVP, Prescott Pemberton III. The Giants had such a great season but went one and done. And there's another new quarterback in the NFC East, and that would be Josh Allen, who joins the Philadelphia Eagles. Allen opened the 11th season of his NFL career with an opening drive interception. That is Colby Frost, one of the great Giants linebackers. They have a lot of good linebackers in this series. Later in the first quarter, still scoreless, Josh Allen completing on the outside, finding Kevin Doolittle to get to the 15. They did a pretty good job of putting that interception behind them as a screen pass gets them inside the 5. That is Joaquin Coles. And then Josh Allen throwing the touchdown to put Philadelphia on the board. That is their number 4 receiver, Philip DeVoe. With Philly taking the opening lead, it was time to see last year's number 1 ranked offense led by Prescott Pemberton, who can make plays inside the pocket and outside. Here's a big run to the Philadelphia 37. That was the big run. Pemberton wanted to make the big throw, but it got intercepted by Philadelphia. That's Harvey on the interception. Philadelphia takes over, and they respond with Josh Allen again getting intercepted. Second of the day, it's Tevin Hart who makes the play for New York. So they take over, and Prescott Pemberton floats outside. Nice catch made at the 24. That's Robert Price. Giants get inside the 10, and Pemberton takes off. The first touchdown of the Giants season is a run for Pemberton, tying the game at 7. Prescott Pemberton coming off the MVP year. I can't wait to see how he follows it up. With this game tied in the first half, Josh Allen stayed aggressive, throwing downfield and finding J.J. Arcega-Whiteside at the Giants' 36. Philadelphia got into field goal range, but the theme of week 1 has been big defensive plays. Philadelphia got nothing on this drive after this third down sack. And then Pemberton looked to give the Giants the lead, but he got intercepted by Shea Holloway. Some really sloppy offensive football to begin this season as Philadelphia gets it right back. It's like these teams didn't play preseason games. Josh Allen 3rd and 15. How about a third pick to Colby Frost, his second of the day? We've already seen two interception performances in just these 3 games. A minute 25 to go in the first half. Pemberton going deep and connecting Terrell Corville all the way for a 70-yard touchdown. Now we get one of the more sloppy plays defensively with Skylar McChesney thinking he's about to make the highlight reel interception. Instead, the Giants take the lead. Philadelphia trailing. Here's a pass deflected and then intercepted. Jabril Peppers getting it back for the Giants. A 4th interception for Josh Allen in the first half. The Giants would not capitalize. And in the second half, Philadelphia would get down the field. They got it inside the 10. Allen trying to forget about the interceptions, but then a backwards pass and a loose football. Another turnover for Philadelphia. A huge missed chance at points. The running game didn't do a lot for the Giants, but Jeffrey Silvers put together this nice run, taking the Giants inside the 10-yard line. And then Prescott Pemberton to open the 4th quarter. He finds tight end Evan Ingram as the Giants separate with a 2-score lead. Philadelphia knew they had to put together a big 4th quarter. Josh Allen stayed aggressive even with the 4 interceptions. Here he gets a pass to the 45-yard line. And then a 4th and 5, a conversion Philadelphia really needs. And Allen gets intercepted for the 5th time of the game. At least he made the tackle here at the very end. The Giants defense did not miss their opportunities. With Philadelphia down by 17 and Josh Allen not playing well in his Eagles debut, you have to wonder if this is a team that could look for a quarterback trade. There are a few quarterbacks that I think have the starting potential the Eagles are probably looking for. They don't have a quarterback of the future on the roster, so I expect a move sooner than later. If you think 5 interceptions is a rough start, what do you think of a 6th? In week 1, 2nd pick for Tevin Hart. The Giants are trying to forget about the way last season ended for them, and they open the year with a convincing 27-7 win over their rivals in Philadelphia. You gotta think that there's a quarterback change that Philadelphia could look to make after a 6 interception day for Josh Allen. At the same time, the way this Giants defense played, if their offense is close to where they were a year ago, this is easily one of the teams to watch out for in the NFC. It's been an exciting start to week 1 here in season 10, and now it's time for your game of the week. It's not the Broncos franchise going forward, but we're still going to check on the Denver Broncos, and the first game of the week is going to be focused on them taking on the Indianapolis Colts after their 4th consecutive Super Bowl championship. This team we've built over the course of 9 seasons is still the team to beat. They've gone 15-2 in the postseason, including a perfect 4-0 in the Super Bowl in this series. This Broncos team has not changed considerably from last season. There are a couple new starters along the offensive line, but the skill players you've come to know in this series are still here, outside of Amari Cooper. We're going to see them play Vashawn Wright, LJ Molina, the rookie Derek Jackson, and free agent pickup Nathan Butler. We'll see if Stephen Kemp gets any action. Defensively, though, this is where this team has been dominant for this Super Bowl run, and they are bringing back all starters outside of Damian Charles. We're going to see them make their season debut against the Indianapolis Colts, a team that loves to run the football, but are missing Jashawn Warfield right now with a ruptured disc. That means R.J. Bailey is going to get the chance to start today for the Indianapolis Colts at running back. But do you know who their quarterback is? We are going to see Hudson Brooks take on the team that selected him a long time ago in the series. He's bounced around the league a little bit as one of the better backups, but finally has a chance to start for the first time since we gave him a chance in his rookie season. Whoa, we have a brand new stadium. I don't remember building that. Apparently the Broncos have a new building. I never tried to make them a stadium, and I played as a coach. So how do they have a new stadium in the series? I'm not sure I understand. But welcome everybody to the first Game of the Week presentation here. I have really been excited to continue the series in this new format. I love your feedback down below, as this is kind of a new idea I'm trying out. It's a combination of what I do across multiple different series. And with us already having rebuilt Denver, I think it's a great way to celebrate the league and to take a look at players that have obviously been a big reason why this series is what it is. The draft classes from Blackjack have really made it unique, and I want to see more of the league. We'll still follow Denver, not every week, and there's not going to be an episode for every week of the season because that would still take a while. The goal is that we can get through multiple seasons a lot faster. But we shall see how this all plays out. For the first time, I'm watching this Denver Bronco team take on the Indianapolis Colts, and they start out with a very nice run from R.J. Bailey. He almost broke it. Of course, Hudson Brooks taking on the team that drafted him. I was excited to see this story play out. And they keep it on the ground for a second straight play. This time, Denver's more prepared. And now Brooks throwing for the very first time. And this is broken up. That's JT Granger. So many X Factors and superstars on this defense. I'd have to say the Broncos are heavy favorites in this matchup, and they're going to force the punt. Indy got one first down, that's all. Oh yeah, I forgot to say that Tyrone Carroll isn't starting either on defense, as Avery Bierschbach is at safety. Oh, a play action to start the year, and Nate Sheffield almost had Levi Summers. I did my best to keep this offense together. By the way, they're just running the Vic Fangio playbook now because mine wasn't set up for a game plan. No! It's a safety on the opening drive. Every game in week 1 has the defenses scored points, I'm pretty sure. Well, that's an interesting start. If you want to pull off the upset, how about a quick safety? And now you take over. R.J. Bailey gets a couple. He's stopped by Boogie Turner. Brooks back to pass on second down. Fires downfield and finds an open receiver. Patty Bray Jones at the 47. Hudson Brooks, time to throw, and he's intercepted. Well covered and going the other way with it. This is Eric McKinney. Early in his career, he was just a solid corner. Play in the slot, make tackles. Good, average corner. And then he became a ball hawk and one of the best cornerbacks potentially in this league. He's playing outside. He's not actually playing slot for this team right now. And perhaps he doesn't need to make a major impact. Denver gets it back in Colts territory. And here is Nate Sheffield. We picked up the 5th-year option for him. Handing this now to Deion Price. He'll get about 4. Quick outside, and the pass is cut by the rookie, Derek Jackson. It's a 1-yard pickup. Did bump him up to star development, by the way. I meant to do that, but never did when I created him in the class. 3rd and 5. Sheffield wide open. Jackson inside the 20. Can Denver drive down to take the lead? Deion Price is the running back, but Sheffield throws a quick slant. It's Vashon right to the 6. From the 5, it's 2nd and goal. Sheffield scans, buying a little time. He throws it, and not a touchdown for Jalil Hester. Stepping in as the number 2 tight end. 3rd and goal. Donovan Jennings now in the game for Denver. And they're going to go play action. Sheffield throws it, incomplete. There's a penalty marker. It's a hold. No, it's an eligible man downfield. Wait, why wasn't that declined? They have another shot here. We never see an eligible downfield. So it's 3rd and goal. They get to try again. Sheffield knocked down. Same result. They're only getting 3. Or perhaps that is not the case. I forgot in this game oftentimes when I do the simmed field goal, they do a fake instead. So the first points for Denver are a Courtney Jean-Charles rushing touchdown. So a few things about how this series is going to go now. Obviously there is 32 team control. Nice run. RJ Bailey to the 45. But I've set every team's depth chart to just make sense based on who they have. Certain rookies that should play as opposed to being like a 4th receiver or something. And I think I will make some trades when it makes sense as well for various teams. There's Akinjide jarring it loose. We saw the Philly game earlier. I think a trade for them makes some sense. There are a couple quarterbacks I have in mind. Here's Hudson Brooks, 3:20 on the clock, and that one's caught. McKinney couldn't make the play this time, and the Colts will have a huge catch and run to the Denver 18. McKinney's playing so much more aggressive now. Toss outside, RJ Bailey chased down. 45, that is Zachary. I think he's a backup edge. Carl Zachary. Here's 2nd down and 8 for Hudson Brooks, and that almost got intercepted. Danny Reed Gray was in the area. Yeah, this defense is still going to be so good. If you're in the red zone, you got to capitalize, and Brooks throws at the turf, incomplete. So if you watch my 2nd channel rebuilds, you understand this format quite well, where I live comm these games. We do sim some possessions just to speed things along at times when an episode's going to be big. And there's already been, around 20 minutes of edited footage for this. But Denver getting downfield now into field goal range. It's 3rd and 10. They only get 6. And they do take a 10-5 lead, a strange score. But hey, Indianapolis keeping it close for at least a little while. They'll have to get a lot more on offense, and that's the big concern. You don't have your star running back. You have a backup caliber quarterback in Hudson Brooks. I'm not sure Brooks has developed enough to really elevate the team. Can't convert here. Looks like Denver's going to punt this back. And now they're the ones getting the safety. I can't believe, how do you have an episode here with like 3 safeties in it? There's been so many defensive points scored. And the thing is, with these CPU games, you oftentimes see stuff you don't normally. There's so much variance, the games end up being so much fun and varied, that I think that it's going to be exciting to see these games play out. As I've done these CPU series, the more I have learned that I don't have to actually be in control of the players to have a fun game of football to watch and to be invested in the team. Or in this case, it's going to be teams. Let's jump back into the action now. It's a 10-point game, 15-5. It's like a baseball game that got out of control, and now a position player is going to come in for the 9th. Hudson Brooks, not a position player. He is a relief pitcher normally. Now a starter, I guess you could say. 3rd and 3, it's Brooks on the outside, and that is a big first down. That's Tyler Boyd, who hasn't really done much. I forgot he was on the team, actually, until he made that catch. The other thing, too, is just how ratings-based this can be. This gameplay is all-pro defaults, all 50s, and a forced fumble. There you go, this hard-hitting defense. That's what they do best. Jamari Akinjide. Now, actually, the first 2 games that I had for this video today, those accidentally had the sliders still. So the pass rush was a little too overpowered, but it's all been back to 50s now with that 3rd game, and now this one. Nice run by Deion Price. Let's see if this team can capitalize, build up this first half lead. 3 tight ends on the field for Denver, 60 seconds on the clock, and there goes Price. Who's going to follow him? I don't think anybody is. You better throw it his way potentially, or dump it off and get a first down. Another fumble! Colts have it! They're going to return to the cross midfield. Down the sideline! Touchdown, Indianapolis! Could not take him out of bounds. What a game changer. Roosevelt Peppers. Brock Andrews, the rookie tight end, fumbled that away. Indianapolis is staying in this game, it looks like. Denver cannot add any more before halftime, so here we go to the second half. We'll sim a couple drives and then watch the rest, normally how I do these. On 3rd and 2, Broncos can't convert. Ooh, a penalty. That ends up extending the possession. Running into the kicker penalty perhaps, or a offsides call. That's going to set up a Jalil Hester touchdown. You know what? Let's watch the rest of it from here. I hope that when I do these sims, we don't end up simming like all of the action. Sometimes it happens. But here are the Colts down by 10 as they take over 22-12. Play fake here for Hudson Brooks, and wide open. A nice play action pass to Patty Bray Jones. Brooks, 1st and 10, over the middle. This one is complete inside the Denver 40. Throwing it, whoa, it was tipped and then caught and then fumbled because it wasn't actually a catch. I've never even seen that. I've done hundreds of these games. I've never seen that before. You gotta be careful that those aren't backwards passes. 3rd down and 12 for Hudson Brooks. He'll fire this one. It's caught inside the 20 by Tyler Boyd. Brooks started out like 5 for 14, something really mediocre. But now he seems to have found a bit of a rhythm. And again, if you're Indy getting in the red zone, you better come away with a touchdown. At the 16, it's Brooks. Dumped off to Armstead. He's up to the 12. Throwing it quick again. Nice tackle. That's a potential touchdown saver for JT Granger. Setting up the 3rd down. Colts have ended up going really pass heavy today. A bit surprising. As Brooks needs 6 yards. And he's going down. It's Boogie Turner at the 18-yard line. The Broncos take over. They're now only up by 7. A play fake for Sheffield and connecting with Levi Summers. That'll go for a first down. Handoff. There's Deion Price. Really want to see what kind of a season he puts together after almost winning the rushing title a season ago. Here's 3rd down and 10 for Sheffield. He fires up the seam, and there is Summers once again. Looks like he's Sheffield's favorite target today. Play fake. Sheffield's protected. Steps up. Throws outside. There goes Price with it. That was close. Last play of the 3rd quarter right here. Outside for Price again. Another first down for Denver as we take it into the 4th. The main thing here is you don't want a takeaway or something that keeps you from going up 2 scores. 3rd and 10 now. Sheffield facing pressure. Hits the pass, but Derek Jackson could not get the first. 10-point game. The Colts have to find a way to get down the field and get a touchdown. Lost the ball, and Brooks almost gave it to Denver. A lineman got on it. Not looking great for the Colts here as Brooks, he sees the rush, steps up. Where's he gonna go? How'd he get out of there? Incomplete. No, it's intercepted. This defense is unbelievable. Jamari Akinjide with the acrobatic play, and I have no clue how Brooks didn't take a sack here. This ends up being deflected. Watts was there. Good luck beating this defense. They're going to review it. No, just admit it was so impressive you want a chance to go watch it again. It's obviously an interception. 25-15, fourth takeaway for the Denver defense. And perhaps one more touchdown would put this game away. Play fake, though. Sheffield fires! It's incomplete for Wright. Play fake. Sheffield floats it. Caught by L.J. Molina inside the 20. Why are they not running the football at all? Caught inside the 5. Down to the 2. There's Vashawn Wright. And like I said, I think a 3-score lead basically ends this one. Out of the eye. They run it, and Jennings is going to be brought down for a big loss. Throwing on 2nd and goal. Over the middle to Levi Summers. I saw that opening up the whole way. Touchdown, Broncos. Looks like the Colts aren't quite done yet. Down 3 scores, they are able to put together a pretty good drive here, but ultimately they turn it over on downs. Looks like Denver's going to leave week 1 with another victory. A successful start for Denver, and of course we're still going to keep up with their season. We're not going to watch every game they play, though. Like I mentioned earlier, it's going to depend on what teams are the most interesting, where are the storylines developing. I can't tell you how many times in this series I've seen storylines develop and be like, I wish we could watch these games as well. And that's where this is so fun. Even if, you know, a team that we think is interesting ends up not being interesting, there's going to be somebody else. Very good debut, though, for Nate Sheffield. Hudson Brooks, not a great start against his former team. The defense really had a strong day. And no, is it saying Price is hurt? Wow. I really hope Deion Price is okay. There's been so many injuries here in this week 1. Hopefully there aren't many major ones. Thankfully, Deion Price's injury was not serious. He is good to go for next week. Obviously, we're not watching every game or anywhere close to that, but I think that, you know, bouncing around the league every week and finding those key games is going to be a lot of fun. Obviously, San Francisco is one of those teams we are watching out for this season. They won their debut game, 31-21. I wanted to see what would happen with Matthew McNair. Matthew McNair, 7 carries, 21 yards in his debut as Levante Robinson got most of the carries. McNair is like first on their depth chart for everything, I'm pretty sure. Maybe not power. So he'll get his touches, don't worry. Ultimately, though, a good win for San Francisco. Marquand Clifford, 5 for 67. Anything for DeHonte Jeffries? Not yet. Ramon Locker gets a pick, and he's really good. Quan Tippins made his first start with the New Orleans Saints this week, and it was successful with the Saints winning. 28-21, Tippins throws 2 touchdowns. He also ran 7 times for 38 yards. Alvin Kamara, 78 and a touchdown. Irv Smith was their leading receiver. Here are the full results, though, from this week. Definitely some fun matchups. But I want to see the league leaders 1 week in. That's where you start to see what could be happening around the league. Tony McAdams had the most yardage in week 1, followed by Josh Allen and then Kenny Kessler and Justin Colbert. Most touchdowns, 3 for a lot of different quarterbacks. Apollo Burgess had 147 rushing in week 1. Najee Nworu had 133. Week 1 saw only 300-yard rushers and 400-yard receivers, with 3 of them at tight end. Jason Burgess, 11 for $164 and 2. Here are your players of the week. Mario Townsend, 2 sacks, 13 tackles for the Chargers. Carson Wentz now playing with Jacksonville. But why don't we look ahead to week 2? What teams would you like to see in the next episode? I will be simulating some weeks, but here in the very beginning, we're going to watch probably games the first few weeks and then do some simming. And then maybe it's like every other week until later in the season and we follow the playoff push. But we have the Broncos and the Titans. We will have that game probably be a shortened game for the episode like I did earlier in this video. But what should be game of the week? We should finally watch a San Francisco game, but what should be the game we focus on? I don't care about the order of games, I'm just going to present them in the order I think is best. So if game of the week is a noon game on a Sunday, oh well, it's getting the primetime treatment. I love your feedback down below. Again, this is a new thing I'm trying out for the remainder of this series. I'm excited about it, but I've also never done it, so I'd like to know how I can make it better and what you enjoyed or did not enjoy about this video. So leave your feedback down below, everybody. I'll have another episode coming your way soon after I gather the feedback and see what I want to do for the next one. Please leave a like if you enjoyed this episode, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all next time. Have a great day.